You're tuned into Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank.
Wellpoint. Unicare is now Wellpoint. New name, same commitment to Massachusetts. At Wellpoint, your whole health is their whole point.
Boston North Company, offering a wide variety of business solutions to help restaurant and retail clients save money. Boston North. Mahoney Oil Company, providing warmth and protection to families in Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. That's Mahoney Oil. Francis E. Preventia Insurance. For auto, home, business, and life, trust the agency Greater Lowell has counted on for more than 40 years. Francis E. Preventia Insurance. GoPuff, a grocery store right at your fingertips. Use the code Lowell20 to receive $20 off your first order of $21, plus free delivery. Download the GoPuff app or visit gopuff.com today. And by the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Tsongas Center in Lowell. Get your tickets today by visiting masspiratesfootball.com. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another Health Minute brought to you by Wellpoint. This Inside Lowell podcast is coming to you from the Wellpoint studios here in beautiful downtown Lowell. Unicare is now Wellpoint. New name, same commitment to Massachusetts and to its members. At Wellpoint, your whole health is their whole point. And as we continue on this Wellpoint theme, we welcome in the medical director at Wellpoint, who joins us every month for a Health Minute, Dr. Carolyn Langer. Good morning, Dr. Langer. Welcome.
Good morning, Teddy. Great to be back again, and happy spring.
Happy spring. It is May as you visit us here in May, besides bringing the flowers after April showers, also is Mental Health Month. The fact that there is a Mental Health Month is kind of an indication of how far we have come in starting, and I say starting to erase the stigma, because we're not all the way there yet, are we?
No, we're not, but we really have come a long way. But mental health stigma still persists, and when we have mental health stigma, we often see signs of shame or embarrassment, which is unfortunate because that really makes people afraid to seek out the help they need sometimes. So it's really important that we address the stigma of mental health conditions so that people will be encouraged to obtain the services they need. And
one of the side effects of not attaining these services is that mental health issues eventually, if untreated, will probably start to manifest themselves in other issues, health issues as well, right? Physically.
No, that's right. And they could have physical manifestations as well. And that's why it's important to recognize the symptoms of mental health conditions. You know, mental health conditions really are a broad range, and they can impact a person's thinking, feeling, their mood, their behavior. So it's important to recognize that this is a broad range, and it really could run the gamut from anxiety disorder to depression to obsessive compulsive disorder. There could be a specific event that triggers post-traumatic stress disorder. Mental health issues can be one-time events. They can occur multiple times. They can be ongoing and recurring. So again, it's important to understand what the symptoms are so that you can address those symptoms or encourage a loved one to seek out help.
Yeah, most of those symptoms are pretty well known by now, another sign of progress, but the anxiety one, it was interesting to me. How do you know that anxiety is a problem that maybe you need to get some help with versus, well, I'm waking up, I'm nervous, I have a big job interview today, or
Right.
I'm in a big life event, a wedding or whatever. What's the difference between anxiety that needs to be treated and an occasional nervousness?
Yeah, so whether we're talking anxiety or any other mental health issues, the symptoms you want to look for are things that might cause you to notice changes in your eating patterns, your sleeping patterns, your self-care, looking for sudden social changes, maybe mood changes, perhaps the way that you interact with others, excessive drinking or drug misuse, inability to engage appropriately at work or with school.
In terms of one of the signs of progress that we've made, speaking about it with compassion is important. And I do believe we've made significant progress there, but there are still things that people kind of just not knowing, or because of the way we grew up and traditionally thought of mental health, we kind of still make some mistakes, don't we?
We do, and it's really important to use care and compassion when discussing mental health issues. You know, most people generally don't want to have a mental health issue, just like they don't want to have a physical condition. And so it's really important that we think about how we use labels. You know, when we talk about somebody, for example, with cancer, we describe them as being strong and brave in terms of battling their cancer. And yet when we talk about people with mental health issues, sometimes we can use harmful language. So, for example, sometimes we refer to these people as being paranoid or delusional or crazy, suffering from their disorder. So when we use this harmful type of language, it can really give people with mental health conditions a sense of hopelessness. So I think it's really critical that we remember not to define people with mental health conditions by their condition. They're not a schizophrenic. They're a person with schizophrenia. Just like you're a person with a flu, we don't say that you are a flu. And so it's really important when referring to people with mental illness that we be very careful, because we don't want to reduce their ability to separate themselves from their condition and to see themselves as separate from their mental health issue.
What's the best first step for finding help, finding care?
Yeah, I always recommend starting with your primary care provider, and then your primary care provider sometimes can manage mild conditions within their primary care practice, but if they feel you need additional assistance, they may refer you on to a mental health specialist who can evaluate you and establish a treatment plan. And your mental health specialist can offer a range of services, anything from counseling to therapy, medications, treatment without medications, mixed treatment, but it's really important to seek out that help.
What if you don't have a primary care physician, and a lot of folks in these days don't? How can you go about seeking help then?
Sure. So first of all, I would encourage you to contact your health plan to see if they can assist you with finding a primary care provider. And we also have a lot more options now. Now we have some virtual care options, so that if you do not have or cannot locate a primary care provider, we may be able to help you identify a virtual primary care provider. In addition to that, I would recommend contacting your health plan to get a list of behavioral health providers, either providers who have a brick and mortar presence in your community. And you can also access telehealth services. And one thing that we've really seen a wonderful explosion of is access to more and more behavioral health providers, including telehealth providers. And that is just a wonderful option to have, because you can engage with that telehealth provider from the convenience and privacy of your own home. Often they make themselves available outside of normal business hours. So I think Wellpoint, as well as many other health plans, are really going a long way to expand the range of behavioral health services available to our members.
And if you're dealing with an emergency, everyone knows there's 3 numbers, 911, that can bring you some immediate help. There are also 3 numbers that can bring you immediate mental health. Those numbers are...
That's right, 988. So if you call 988, or you can chat via 988lifeline.org, you will be connected immediately with a mental health crisis counselor. So I would recommend that you also access that resource. Another wonderful avenue to gain information and resources is through the National Alliance on Mental Illness Massachusetts website, also called NAMI, terrific resource for individuals here in Massachusetts.
All right, and you were being a little modest there when you talked about the how Wellpoint helps its members, but you guys are a leader in this. You have made mental health a priority for your members and for their families.
Yes, it really is a priority, and we have gone to extensive lengths to really expand our network, both of in-person behavioral health providers, but really expanding a wide range of telehealth providers so that we can meet our members where they are and ensure that they get the right care in the right place at the right time.
All righty. Dr. Carolyn Langer, Medical Director at Wellpoint, joining us here in the Wellpoint studios. Wellpoint all around. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing some knowledge and information on this very important issue that I hope we continue to make strides by leaps and bounds here.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you to Dr. Langer, and thank you to you as well for joining us here on this Inside Lowell podcast, this Health Minute brought to you by Wellpoint. Till next time, everybody, stay safe and stay healthy.